Holidays of the People of Israel, or the Law of Endless Motion. The law of endless improvement in movement. This is the Torah, the teaching of Moses revealed to the people of Israel. The expression, be worthy for the commandments, tizke lemizvat, means be pure and therefore worthy of the commandments of the King of Kings. As it is said, to those who are worthy, since they are pure in soul and body, Torah is the medicine of life. If he is not worthy, since he is not pure in soul and body, to those the Torah becomes a deadly poison. How to deserve purity? By connecting earth and heaven, you connect the material with the spiritual. When does it happen the most? While walking. When the material body and animal soul or ego are in motion, then the head, consciousness, and mind is free from thoughts, and the divine soul can reveal itself. The body corresponds to the earth, Eretz Aleph Ratz. In translation, the light that runs. The spirituality of the animal soul or ego is in motion. The divine soul, neshama, in translation is emptiness, not being. The divine soul, neshama, corresponds to the sky, shemaim, which is emptiness, a vacuum, which is in turn connected to the divine soul, neshama. The divine soul of neshama will shine more strongly when the mind and ego are busy with the movement of the body. Traditional law, halakha, comes from the word halika, walking, movement. Hence the law 3 times a year commands you to make the pilgrimage on foot to the temple in Jerusalem. 3 times a year, times paimot, literally meaning steps. One needs to make a walking pilgrimage to Jerusalem, and the pilgrimages are called 3 regalim, from the word regalim, feet. It means that the pilgrimages dedicated to the holidays are made on foot. A pilgrimage requires tremendous physical effort, through which the body, soul, or ego is purified. The pilgrimage prepares you to rise above the passions and whims of the body. Therefore, it is called aliyah leregel, literally spiritual lifting thanks to the foot. 3 times a year, every man will appear before the face of the Lord, and will be seen by the Lord God of Israel. And I, the Lord, will give Israel the lands of other nations and will expand your borders. And no one will dare to encroach on the lands of Israel when you go up to Jerusalem on your pilgrimage to be seen before the face of the Lord 3 times a year. 3 times a year, every man will appear before the Lord. Thy God will be seen by him. In the places that he chooses, on the holiday of Matzot, Pesach, Passover, on the holiday of Shavuot, 7 weeks after Passover, on the holiday of SUKKOT, tabernacles, and man will not be seen by the face of the Lord if he comes empty-handed. Everyone should bring a gift according to the blessing of the Lord thy God, which he gave to man. During a walking pilgrimage, aliyah leregel, literally spiritually uplifting of the leg, one reaches the following state. Take off your shoes, that is, the body, from your feet, because this is the place on which you stand, holy land. Leather shoes are comparable to the body. Just as the foot enters the shoe, so the divine soul enters the body. During a pilgrimage, aliyah leregel, spiritual ascent, one can feel for a moment how the spirit inspires and rises above the material, and the pure body will say, all my bones will say, Lord, who is like you? As it is written, a person who just walks and does not do anything will still be rewarded. Why is walking so important? What mechanisms work when walking? Answer: when walking, the 248 organs of Ramah Avarim are involved. Bones are called organs. There are 248 of them in the human body. Bones make blood cells using the bone marrow. Blood cells enter the bloodstream where they are attached to oxygen and carry oxygen throughout the body and influence the correction of the soul. Since nefesh, animal soul or ego, is the incessant movement of blood cells. As it is written, because blood is soul. The holidays of the people of Israel were established with a certain periodicity to further the process of self-correction, so that each year one advances a step higher and acquires new skills. The Hebrew word holiday, hag, comes from the word hug, a circular repeating movement, hence the word hour hand, mahag. On the Pesach holiday, there is an increase of the inner light, or mimi, overcoming the limitations of the body, escaping out of the personal dungeon of Egypt, Mitzrayim. This is achieved through hard training, food restrictions, and avoidance of leavened breads, hametz, the hearty food. On Shavuot, one returns to the satiety of leavened bread, hametz, with a new enlightenment and a new understanding of life, returning to a purified, cleansed body, which is already the land of Israel and not Mitzrayim, Egypt. The word Shavuot is similar to the word Sova, the satiety. The SUKKOT holiday is the holiday of the all-embracing light, or Makif. On the Feast of Sukkot, people stay 7 days in temporary shelters made of palm branches, which give shade and protect a person from the sun rays of all sides. The palm branch shelters represent the divine light, which surrounds a person from all sides without burning him. Shelters made of palm branches symbolize the clouds of greatness, ananai kavod, that is, a state where you have an excess of spirit and energy surrounding you from all sides. The SUKKOT holiday is dedicated to the harvest of the land of Israel. It is the earned right to enjoy one's work. It symbolizes the opportunity to enjoy the divine light, ziv hashkina. The sukkah, shelter, made of palm branches, decorated with harvest fruits as the sign of gratitude to the Creator for a bountiful year. The SUKKOT holiday, Festival of Tabernacles, is an extension of the Rosh Ha Shanah, the Jewish New Year. It was appropriated by the Europeans and transformed into the New Year holiday. The New Year in Europe was also created in autumn and was transformed to winter during the last 300 years. Because of the evergreen palm symbolizing abundance does not grow in the colder climate of Europe, it was replaced with the fir tree, while the tradition of decorating the shelter with fruits had transformed into decorating the Western New Year tree with various decorations. The SUKKOT holiday has specific attributes: etrog, a citrus plant, lulav, palm tree branch, myrtle, willow. These attributes symbolize those of royal power, the scepter, and the orb. As during the festival of Sukkot, everyone should feel oneself a king, free from daily routine and worries. This is why European monarchs have copied these symbols of the SUKKOT holiday and transformed them into attributes of royal power. The pinnacle of the whole year is the celebration of SHMINI ATSERET, or SIMHAT BEIT HaShova, the holiday of joy of drawing water from a well. The temple rite ceremony for the holiday consists in drawing water from a well and pouring water on the altar. It meant that everyone should draw water, or energy, from the inner well that located at the Dantian point, a well of pure water and internal energies. SIMHAT BEIT HaSheva, the celebration of joy of drawing water from a well, carries the correction of the sin of selling Yosef by his brothers. As it is written about the well where the brothers threw Yosef before they sold him into slavery, and the well is empty and there is no water in it. Making an effort to draw water from the well shows that the well is no longer empty, and through this comes the forgiveness of the ancient sin. About it said Baal Shem Tov, "When is the Messiah coming? When the springs of pure water of internal energies spill out onto the material world." When the internal source of pure energies and the spring in the earth are overflowing with water, which will be gathered up and poured onto the altar, Only then will man be able to enjoy the light of Shekhinah without being burned by the divine light. And therefore, the holiday Shmini Atzeret, or SIMHAT BEIT is the high point of the whole year because it is a time of divine forgiveness. Therefore, the feast of SIMHAT BEIT, holiday of the joy, life-giving natural water. About it the prophet says, "Draw water with joy from the fountains of salvation."